Live from Cullman, Alabama, Premier Bank presents Wake Up Cullman.
Morning, everyone. I'm Jacob Murphy.
I'm Natalie Bonner.
And again, everyone here welcomes you to another episode of Wake Up Cullman. So, we've got some very interesting things happening in the community, and for once, not all of them are completely terrible. And I only say that because over the last couple of weeks, you can tell we've had some very interesting events, both good and bad, going on. So it is nice to kind of see the variety kind of hit up. For instance, we do have some good news that you would like to point out about the tombstone.
Yes, a lot of people have followed the case of baby Haas Wayne Benham, who unfortunately died from alleged child abuse last March. And so now they have raised funds to actually get the baby a true headstone. Right now he's only got one that says Haas. So in just like less than 2 days, the Cullman Times put out a story yesterday, and within just that tiny amount of, that small amount of time, they have raised $1,760 so that this baby can have an actual proper headstone. So we are definitely very happy to hear that, and I'm just impressed that the community could pull together at such little notice to be able to achieve this. Such a sweet little baby, and I believe April is Child Abuse Awareness Month, and Cullman Caring for Kids, I believe they do this thing every year where they set some balloons free, and it signifies child abuse. So anyway, he did die last March, and so it's been a little over a year and a half, and it's just great that he finally has resting place with a proper burial stone. Right, and again, we are very grateful to the community for coming together for such a cause as this. It is nice to see a community that can come together for events such as this, especially to help families that need it. In cases like this, it is very hard for families, so we are glad that they might have some closure in the fact that they have something for their child now. The mother of this baby and her boyfriend, they're facing capital murder charges concerning this case. So we're going to continue to see how that evolves and hear more news about it, but they are seeking capital murder for that. And then, we can only wish the best for the rest of the family, that, they find some peace in this, and that, justice is served as it's needed. Another nearby local thing, not necessarily local for here, Birmingham recently had a vote to raise minimum wage from its current at $7.25 an hour to, by 2017, to be $10.10 an hour throughout the city. $10.10. That's a lot for minimum wage. Oh, definitely. By July of 2016, they hope to raise it to $8.60, and then by July of 2017, like you said, 10.10. So, the cost of living has just gone up, and so the minimum wage has to reflect that. And yeah, we'll see what happens with all of that. $10.10 would be nice. Yeah, it would. It's just I'm always afraid that when they keep continuously talking about raising the minimum wage, like what that's going to reflect in terms of pricing. Oh, yeah. When is a hot dog going to cost me $8? I don't know. It could be on the horizon. I'm not a big fan of that. But okay, so in terms of things that we can get and we can buy, what if we told you we could give you some free stuff that were awesomely and generously donated by our sponsors, as we do every day, and that you had a chance to win those? That's right. Every day here at the studio, we like to give away some awesome prizes, and here's the first one. We have a sausage biscuit from Bojangles of Cullman that you can win. And a free bag of apples, and that's 20 different varieties of apples from Steel Orchard. And Mad Dog Mike's famous family barbecue pack, that's the pound of meat, the 2 16-ounce sides, and the 4 buns. So go check out our Facebook page, see who the sponsor of the day is, and call us at 256-734-7399. Again, that's 256-734-7399. Definitely want to give us a call. Don't want to miss the opportunity to get those awesome prizes. I didn't know they even had 20 different kinds of apples. Yeah, apparently 20 varieties of apples in awesome. One place. Well, now it's time for our Facebook Friend of the Day. And our Facebook Friend of the Day is Pat Lowe Sims. And she likes I Am Kate and Cake Boss. We would like to give Pat a free large barbecue sandwich from Mad Dog Mike's Famous Barbecue.
Cake Boss is one of those shows that I could never get into. No offense to anyone that watches it, but it was like
I liked it.
It was like The Sopranos meets making cakes, except like in reality television form, and it was just weird to me. I'm sorry, I'm that kind of guy.
That's kind of an accurate description.
I mean, yeah, they've got that whole like family first thing going for him.
Yeah.
But then, he is an Italian heritage gentleman, so it was like, all right, Sopranos, you're gonna make cakes. Okay, that's a thing. That's how this show's gonna go.
He's really talented, though. He can
is.
make anything, and it's I mean, this is just completely random, but the amount of shows that will have competitions concerning cupcakes and cakes and things like that. You have Food Network during the holidays. They have Halloween Wars, where they build these huge, elaborate displays out of cupcakes and everything else. I mean, it's just crazy what everything has evolved from with just cake.
Television and food apparently seem to go hand in hand nowadays. We're not exactly sure why. But in a totally off chance that you'd love to eat cakes and junk food, here's something that's the total opposite of that. Today we have Miss Jacqueline coming on the show, and she's going to be talking to you about the Scam Jam and health fair that would probably steer you clear of all the things that we just previously mentioned. So try not to go eat and binge amounts of food like that. Probably be really bad for you. But if you'll stay tuned with us in just a moment, we'll be on with Miss Jacqueline. We'll be right back.
Overwhelmed by home refinancing offers from telephone solicitors and direct mail advertising, and then find you're not qualified for a specific plan? The Mortgage Center, a hometown lender, compares the rates from all home loan lenders and the qualifications of the various government programs to find a plan best suited to you. The Mortgage Center helps Cullman County people purchase and refinance their homes.
This is Pat Newton. Call us today and let us tailor a loan program to your specific needs and requirements.
I'm Jay Mullins with Premier Bank.
And I'm Jacob Mullins.
For more than 26 years, we've been providing friendly personal banking services to the citizens of Cullman and surrounding counties. We continue to provide new and improved services to our customers, and we even have a new look. So come by and see us at any of our 9 convenient locations. And remember, the same friendly personal service, and we're open on Saturdays.
With classic bolognese behind you, there are racks of lamb ahead. There are tartlets to take on, and crazy knife skills to perfect. There is you and your muse, the appliance brand more chefs choose. Chefs choose KitchenAid for their homes more than any other brand. And when every machine does incredible things, there's so much more to make.
That's how fast the health information technology profession is projected to grow this decade. That's how much a health information technician can make in the first year. Who will you be? Be one of us and get in a Wallace state of mind.
Have you been online to see our brand new website? Go to mycolemantv.com. There you can find links to see a live stream, notes from today's shows. You can meet our sponsors and even meet us here at the station. But don't forget about that Meet the Sponsors link. There you can see advertisements from the sponsors that help keep us on the air. You can also click on the links to go to these sponsors' web pages. My Cullman Television. Let's discover Cullman together.
Life lived in black and white is not a life lived. Today, I choose color. To see it. To feel it. To be in it. To be upon it. And to live a life surrounded by it. Today, I put on a fresh coat.
And welcome back. And today we are joined by Miss Deb from Deb's Bookstore. Yes, ma'am. So,
I'm getting organized.
oh no, it's fine. Take it.
You're fine.
So we are actually you're going to highlight some books with us today, correct?
Is that what I'm supposed to do?
Oh man.
I
I think I messed up the line. What's the promise?
I think she's well versed in that
yes,
for sure.
This is all I know how to do. So
Oh,
we
okay.
can talk about books, or we can talk about politics, or we can talk about the end of the world that's coming. I'm good with any of those.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not plans to talk about books.
Let's talk
Anyway,
about it.
and speaking of books with words in them, I have coloring books. Have you heard about the new? I've been kind of misspeaking. I've been calling them adult coloring books, but they're not that kind of adult coloring books.
Well, there's half your
They're
fan
for
base right there.
grown-ups.
Right.
For grown-ups, which means here, look at these. Aren't they pretty? These are gorgeous, but they're very detailed, and you have to know what you're doing. And if you want to color outside the lines, you can, because you can do what
Ooh.
you want to do. Look how
This is
pretty they
pretty
are.
neat.
Aren't they beautiful? Jacqueline wanted to hate me because I'm touching the books, but she's not here. So, aren't they pretty? And I have lots and lots of different kinds at lots and lots of different
Ooh, this
prices.
is really, really pretty.
Aren't they gorgeous? I have people that come in and go, ooh.
Yeah, look at that.
Ah. Isn't that nice?
That is awesome.
Now,
feel like
the
I
good
need a
news
math
about these
degree
adult
for this
I'm sorry, grown-up coloring books for grown-ups is that the kids are back in school, so you can use their markers and crayons, and they'll never know.
So you can use obviously anything to
You can
color
use
in them?
anything you want because it's your coloring book and you paid for them. They're
Take that, kids.
They're a lot of fun, and they have these smaller ones too. Show up that smaller one there. See the smaller one? You could stick that one in your purse, and you could take it to the doctor's office with you, and everybody else is reading or staring at the ceiling, and you'll just be doodling and coloring, and people will lean over and they'll say, "What are you doing?" And you'll say, "I'm being mindful and relieving my stress."
Mindful and
Mindful.
relieving
That's
my
see,
stress.
that's what
I
the
love it.
mindfulness coloring
You know,
book.
this is really good for people that, I have a lot of friends that are really great at drawing. I'm not.
It's
but-
supposed to be really stressful, and it's supposed to release your creativity. I've heard of writers that have writer's blocks. We'll start doing this, and all of a sudden, all the juices start flowing again.
Wow,
Isn't
okay.
that cool? It's also good for maybe some of our older adults that are really sick and tired of the circle the words.
Yeah, yeah.
So these are a lot of fun,
So-
and they're really pretty.
How much do they range from?
Well, this one's probably one of the least expensive. It's what like $7.99?
Yeah,
$7.96.
$7.96.
Yeah, and then I've got some that are like 14.
Okay, that's
So-
not bad at
yeah,
all.
no, they're not bad. They're really nice, and
These
they're
are
fun,
really
and they're
cool.
different.
Yeah.
So enough of that.
Look at that. How
What am
neat.
I reading right now, you ask? I'm reading a book called Trenchmarth Taggart, The Ballad of Trenchmarth Taggart by M. Glenn Taylor. Now, you know the rule. Read anything you want, as often as you want. But every other book you should read an author you've never read before. That opens your horizons.
That's
It
true.
also keeps me busy at the store. So, I've never read this author before. And I looked at this book, I thought, oh, I'm ready for a Western. It's got kind of a guy, kind of Clint Eastwood eyes kind of thing. And he's got the hat and a Trenchmarth Taggart ballad of, yeah, that's a Western. Ain't a Western. Anyway, really, really good though. I'm enjoying it a lot. It's about a man who has done everything, been there, done that, and in a really odd sort of way. He is dropped in a really yucky, irky, dirty, polluted stream as a 1 or 2 month old baby, and develops as a result of that trench mouth, which he spends the rest of his life with. This is the early 1900s. With a lot of the coal mining issues, and that's why the stream was so polluted. But we do need coal. Anyway,
Now, what exactly is trench mouth?
trench mouth is a disease of the gums. It's like super hyper on steroids gingivitis, where your teeth fall out and turn black.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really nasty. It gives you really bad breath and stuff like that.
Now,
It must
do
be
you-
very popular with
Yeah. It's a great. Well, it's not really a conversation starter because he probably spends the first half of the book not opening his mouth because he's so ashamed. Anyway, really, really good, very interesting,
Wow.
great character study. So we jump from that to Dick and Jane. The kids are back in school, and a lot of them may or may not be learning to read. And so the Dick and Jane books are all back in print, and you remember Spot and Fluff. I was so excited when I got to Fluff the cat, because that means you're at level 3.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, anyway, but Dick and Jane are all back. The original pictures, the original words. Look, Tim,
that's
see
nice.
Sally jump. See Sally jump down, 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 down. Sally can jump and play. Aren't these fun? Bring back memories. Good stuff. I like the kids' books. Harvest Time is the new Tractor Mac. I have all the Tractor Mac books in the store now. Every one of them that has ever existed, to include the board book.
Oh, wow.
With little side panels that you can open.
Now, who is Tractor Mac?
Oh dear, I'm so sorry for you. Here, read this. This is
I have nephews. I do. I just haven't heard of
Tractor
Tractor
Mac is a
Mac.
wonderful little tractor, and he lives on the farm, and he has lots of friends and adventures. And Tractor Mac is new. Okay, he's only been out about a year and a half.
Okay. I'm
I
old
just want to make you
We
feel
had
old.
also one when he was younger, so I've at least seen the stories.
Yeah, the kids love Tractor Mac, and they're very educational.
Well, I'm going to have to get that for my
Don't
nephews.
tell them; they'll accidentally learn stuff and never know the difference. What do we want to do next?
Beck.
Do we want to jump right to Islam?
Sure.
Glenn Beck's book came out yesterday. A lot of controversy about this book because it's not so much Glenn Beck. It's not his opinion. He just authored it and had it printed. Basically, this is a study of the origins of Islam, how it begins, how it began, how it got started, and where it's going. He does make a disclaimer at the beginning about the difference between Islam, the religion, and Islamism, which is this terrorist thing. But he cites passages all through the book of the Quran, and he cites the one that they approved of in the English language, and it says, okay, here, you read about it. You see what's going on here. It's terrifying. I read about half of it last night, and I do plan on finishing. It just came out yesterday. I think we should all read it. It's very good. On the same lines, Joe Nobody. Speaking of the end of the world, Joe Nobody is a huge author in the survivalist series type books. This is book number like 9 or 10. This one's Holding Their Own is the name of the series. What's this one called? The Toy Maker. I haven't read this one yet. I'm behind. I'm on like 7 right now. They're really good. It's a group of folks who band together shortly after an EMP, and how they manage and grow and build their community and invite others, disinvite others, and how they protect themselves and survive. And I think it's important for all us not to lay awake at night thinking, do I have enough flour? But it's important to think ahead about what you're going to do. We think ahead about do we have enough water for a weekend? Do we have enough food on hand that we can eat without, what if our refrigerator goes out after a tornado? We have tornadoes here. We have to think about that. This is what do I do for a weekend without food or electricity? Instead of for a weekend, this is for like the next 4 years. So yeah, it's fun. In a really bizarre
So this
sort
is
of way.
kind of like the post-apocalyptic.
Oh yeah,
what
it's
do
all
you
the
do?
post-apocalyptic stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. And I just reviewed this book and this one. I'll talk about these in the recent Good Life magazine. So if you've read those reviews, yeah, they're good stuff. Anyway, I always try to pick 2 very different books, and I did this time. Eeny Meeny. This is another one by M.J. Arledge. This is his or hers, not sure, first book. Really spooky, scary, creepy. I loved it.
Is it a mystery?
It is a super mystery thriller. Here's the premise. 2 people who know each other have some sign of a relationship. They either work together, or they're married, or they're engaged, or something. Whatever, they work together. Sometimes same sex, sometimes mixed sex. Anyway, they get kidnapped, dropped in a pit with a gun. And the note at the bottom of the pit says, when one of you kills the other one, I'll let the other one out. Ooh, creepy, creepy. Well, one of them.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, of course, one of them always gets out, and so they start telling their stories, and I loved it.
Wow.
It's a real whodunit. And then the other one I reviewed was a Western by it's J.A. Johnstone. William Johnstone is long dead, but J.A. is now writing in his place. Those Jensen boys. For those of you who are familiar with the the series of books called The Mountain Man. There are several mountain men that J.A. Johnstone has created, and we love them all. There's Smoke, who is one of my favorites, actually, who is an adopted son of, anyway, don't go there. Anyway, suffice to say, he has two twin nephews, Matt and Ace Jensen, and they are, this is Ace and Chance, and they don't know that Smoke is their uncle.
Oh,
and
wow.
it's just delightful, and I love it, and I love the twin boys, and I'm anxious for them to have their whole new series with just them, because they're a hoot, and they shoot fast, and they're going to deliver that mail for those two girls if it kills them, and it just might. Anyway.
Very nice.
I'm getting a lot of folks talking about a man called, I believe it's Ove. I'm not sure. It's just one of those Norwegian things that's come and been translated. And I haven't read it yet, but I've got several customers in the store that says, if you don't read this, I'm never going to see you again. And so I'm going to read it. It's really, really, from what I understand, intriguing is the word I'm hearing, and interesting. So I haven't read it yet, but I'm anxious to read it. That's the next one on my list, and I'll tell you about it next month. And I have just a very few copies left of Steve Flowers' book of Goats and Governors. He was in the store for a book signing last Wednesday, and if you didn't get a chance to meet him and talk about this book, you missed a little treat. It was a lot of fun. We had lots and lots of people in the store, and they wanted to talk a lot, so we stayed just a little bit late. Anyway, but this is Steve Flowers' book. You all know him as a columnist for the Cullman Times, although he's syndicated, and so he writes pretty much about politics in the state. He was a state representative. He's from Troy area, I believe. Anyway, so there's lots of little anecdotes about about the Folsoms and the Wallaces and all the hooty-doos and bigwigs. And most of the stories are very polite because he wanted them all to buy it. So, but they're all true and they're all great stories, and it's a great little read if you like Alabama politics. And who doesn't? It's almost as good as football.
Almost, yeah.
So we got lots of books in the store. It's too yucky and rainy and stuff is muggy and hot. So come in a good book and sit under your air conditioning while it lasts. Mm-hmm. And then get you a survival book of Goats and Governors and a Western and a mystery, and get you something. The kids are in school now, so come in and get you a horror book and scare yourself silly, and then when the kids come back, you'll be glad to see them.
All right.
Parenting tips. There we go.
So thanks for having me.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming on. These all look really great. Definitely.
I'm probably going to have to stop by and look at some.
Yeah, you should.
If you need a book, go see Miss Deb.
We got them, and they're half price or less. I usually bring new books in today, but they're still cheap. 20% off retail. Okay. And if we don't have it, we'll get it for you. I promise.
Good. I want the one I told you.
Okay, you can have that. Okay. Remind me though, because I forget.
All right, I will.
All right. Well, thank you for stopping again with us, Ms. Deb.
You're welcome.
We will definitely see, but we encourage everybody to go out to the bookstore, and if you'll join us again in just a moment, we will be right back.
Fire, accident, storm. They all happen in Cullman County, and for 3 generations, Night Free Insurance has been there for you. Continuing today with Elliott and Westcott Free, customizing your life, home, auto, and business insurance with companies like Auto Owners, State Auto, and Southern Guarantee. Call Westcott, Elliott, Judy, Tina, Angie, or Nelda. Night Free Insurance, where people are the difference.
Hi, I'm Jay Mullins with Premier Bank.
And I'm Jacob Mullins.
For more than 26 years, we've been providing friendly personal banking services to the citizens of Cullman and surrounding counties. We continue to provide new and improved services to our customers, and we even have a new look. So come by and see us at any of our 9 convenient locations. And remember, the same friendly personal service, and we're open on Saturdays.
I remember the moment.
I'll never forget that moment.
That moment?
It was a moment that changed my life. I'd been training with my team for months, and now we had been called up for the first time. The real deal. Wildfires were getting dangerously close to homes. At that moment, I got my first taste of just how important the Guard is to my community.
See how the Guard can be an important part of your life at NationalGuard.com.
And welcome back. So, every day, as we stated, and Miss Deb was just here, and she was talking about all the awesome books you can get. And, one of the things that we know is that she is our sponsor. She is one of our many sponsors, and we absolutely love having her on because she gets to come in and tell us about this whole other world that a lot of us don't actually take the time to appreciate, which is literature, because, it's such a huge part of our culture, and many things that we watch, because a lot of people are moviegoers, they don't realize that half these movies are based off of books, whether they be from the Americas or, some other country.
Oh, absolutely. And, not a lot of people I know have time for recreational reading. I wish that I had more time for that. I do occasionally make some time to read, a book here and there, but I just appreciate her so much because she gets to jump into that world every day, and that's her career, and that's just awesome.
She's a proven fact that you can do what you love.
Yeah, you're totally right.
Well, see, the reason I mention her is because many sponsors with us come on and do very different things, and some of the things that our sponsors do for us is actually allow us to give out prizes to the viewing audience. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, you have a chance to win those prizes. Now, in the off chance you did not know who our sponsor of the day was, you need to go check out our Facebook page. But I'm going to help you out a little bit because I like to see people win these things. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to give you a small hint that might push you in the right direction, or even just encourage you more to go check our Facebook page to go and win these prizes. So today's hint for you is which one of our sponsors is a gym that features the word fit in the title. So if you don't know this one, it's almost blatant how easy this one is. You should definitely call us in and tell us who the sponsor of the day is so we can give you those prizes that we mentioned at the beginning of the show.
Sounds like a plan. Don't forget to call. It's 256-734-7399.
Absolutely. Alrighty. Well, in other news, we've got some interesting things going on across the world today.
So owners of the warehouse in China, the blast that they had over there, those owners have been detained.
Yeah, about 10 senior executives of the company that owned the warehouse that exploded in China have been, indeed, as she stated, detained. The authorities are continuing to investigate the cause of the disaster, and these gentlemen have been under detention since August 13th. This was a very large blast that destroyed a very large section of this warehouse district. Many cars were destroyed. I don't know if you remember the last time we talked about this. Some of the photos we showed, it showed an entire parking garage just wiped out.
Yeah, just decimated. At least 114 people were killed during these violent blasts, and 57 people are still missing.
Several tons of sodium cyanide have been found at 2 locations that are currently being cleaned up. The substance is highly toxic and quickly kills people and apparently rapidly combusts. So this is a terrible thing to find. They are still questioning why this amount of chemical was present at the time. So this is one of those things that we're just excited to hear any information about it, and excited in the sense of we're very curious to find out why something like this was allowed to happen.
Oh, yeah.
So as we find out more about that, we will absolutely keep you informed on it as much as we know.
Definitely. And in other news, Johnny Depp performs for charity. Who doesn't love Johnny Depp? He's just a great guy. Last Saturday, Johnny Depp was Captain Jack Sparrow in Disneyland. The next night, he slicked back his hair and rocked a white electric guitar for a charity gig at a bowling alley in L.A.
Depp didn't say a word when he took the stage to play with Gene Simmons at the fundraiser for MendingKids.org, an organization that provides corrective surgery to children around the world. But he went out and he apparently played guitar and had a good time. He's not bad. He's actually played guitar in a few of his films.
Okay.
And he's played with his own group. There is some clips of footage online of that. I don't know whether they were supposed to take those clips of footage, but they are there. So definitely check that out if you haven't seen it.
And, Simmons, he's been a supporter of Mending Kids for several years. He invited anyone with $1,000 to donate to the organization to come up on stage and join the band. 10 donors took him up on the offer, so that's really exciting. Lots of money raised for a great cause.
Absolutely. And again, everyone who does not know, Gene Simmons is, again, he was the original bassist for Kiss. He was considered the demon, and he was the one with the tongue that everyone knows. But he's actually an avid businessman and actually has trademarked the word orange juice.
Oh.
OJ
Really?
Specifically, yes.
Huh.
He makes money every time someone says that. So there you go, there's like $5.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yes. So he helming this organization makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
He's a very caring guy. He's a very strict businessman, but he's a very caring guy. So it makes sense that people would want to join him for something like this.
Okay. Well, if you haven't heard already, it seems to be all over Facebook. The University of Alabama's chapter of Alpha Phi sorority posted a pretty risky video. The sororities post recruitment videos once a year to convince girls to be a part of their chapter, where they go through rush and all of those things. Most videos include sorority members in various collegiate situations, having fun and enjoying their sorority. A lot of people feel that UA's chapter of Alpha Phi went way too far when they posted a video where students are dancing in bikinis with phallic symbols and with the Crimson Tide mascot twerking, all of those things. Lots of things that actually, college girls and boys do, but you don't want to see it on a video.
It's one of those things where they're basically just pointing out exactly what's going to happen. For once, they were being as
candid.
Yeah, they were honestly just showing you exactly what happens and not just what parents want to see.
Yeah.
They were catering to the people that they're actually wanting in the organization and not the parents who push the child in the direction.
A lot of people feel the video was in poor taste, and I believe it has been taken down since then. However, it's made major newslines, so I wonder how that will actually affect their recruitment, if it will boost or if it will have a lower percentage of girls that will actually pledge to that chapter. Now, UA did release a statement through Deborah M. Lane. She's the Associate Vice President for University Relations. She stated, "This video is not reflective of UA's expectations for student organizations to be responsible digital citizens. It is important for student organizations to remember what is posted on social media makes a difference today and tomorrow on how they are perceived and viewed."
Strangely enough, from what I've read, there are a lot of people in support of this, though, because they are telling people they are not building false hopes and expectations for certain organizations, which has been issues in the past. You'd see these recruitment videos where they were doing tons of charity work, and basically they looked as if they were the upstanding citizen when, in turn, they had the hazing issues, and you'd come through instances like this that would get them in a lot of trouble. So a lot of people are in support of this because they're saying at least they're showing you exactly what you're going to get into. There's no joking.
And there's good sides and bad sides. I mean, obviously, they do a lot of philanthropy projects, and a lot of these Greek organizations really do give back, and they are very charitable, and they present a very positive message and influence to the community. But reality is that half of college Greek life does include something that was kind of akin to what was present in the video. So I can see both sides, and we'll see how that affects their recruitment.
Absolutely. And again, if we learn anything more on that, we will definitely keep you posted on it. Alrighty, well now, as I state every day, because it does truly excite me, is my favorite part of the show because it's the time that I get to talk about the weather. So let's take a look at that today. Alrighty, and again, the weather is brought to you by Mitch Smith Chevrolet, so make the switch to Mitch. Alright, it looks like the high today is going to be 91 with a low of 70, with the record high set in 1990 at 101 with the record low at 1943 at 54 degrees. Sunset tonight's going to be at 8:10 with sunrise tomorrow at 5:30 a.m. Alrighty, now it looks like the weather's going to clear up a little bit, but from what we're catching from a lot of different sources, it looks like rain's going to continue not only through this week, but through next week, so keep an eye out for that. Again, it's thunderstorms today. It's with a high of 84, tonight a low of 70, with again another 80% chance of rain. Tomorrow looking about the same thing at a 60% chance. We're looking at mostly rain throughout the week, maybe some dry spots towards the weekend or next week. We're looking at lower 80s for the highs this week. And middle to upper 60s for the lows at night. So again, we're hitting that cooler weather. We're getting a lot of rain. These August showers are starting to scare a lot of people because they weren't expecting it. So keep dry and make sure that you have the proper necessary supplies in your home, and the off chance for power outages, because with these big storms in our area, it's not uncommon for that. So
yes, and drive slow. A lot of people still will just, go
zoom through like there's no problem.
Yeah, and there's lots of water that gets built up, and you'll hydroplane before you know it. So just be careful out there.
Right, and definitely educate yourself on what to do in those situations. There's tons of good information to read online, both about what to do if the power goes out and what to do if you have an accident in your car.
Yes.
Alrighty, well if you'll join us again in just a moment, we will be right back.
Local Auto Owners Independent Agency. We are dedicated to assisting you in your time of need. We live and work right in your community, and we're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Fortunately, emergencies don't happen every day, but when they do, we're here to personally see you through. For life, home, car, and business insurance, call us, your local independent auto owner's agent today.
That's how many registered nurses the national job market will need in this decade. Will you be one of them? Across the country, that's the median annual pay for RNs. Be one of us and get in a Wallace state of mind.
Have you been online to see our brand new website? Go to mycolemantv.com. There you can find links to see a live stream, notes from today's shows. You can meet our sponsors and even meet us here at the station. But don't forget about that Meet the Sponsors link. There you can see advertisements from the sponsors that help keep us on the air. You can also click on the links to go to these sponsors' web pages. My Cullman Television. Let's discover Cullman together.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. In terms of things we were talking about earlier today, we probably should read more, honestly.
Yeah.
And thinking about it, why don't you as audience members, have you read any good books lately? Because if you have, you should let us know. Definitely check the Facebook page and let us know the kind of things that you enjoy reading. Whether it just be, the nice small novel or like the thick War and Peace style books that, you enjoy.
What's the last book you read?
The last book I read. Last book I read was, okay, this is going to sound really, really lame, honestly. I'm actually reading an autobiography currently for a guitarist that I used to watch in the rock community. He played with artists like Ozzy Osbourne and his own groups. His name is Zakk Wylde. It's not actually his name, but it's his stage name. I was actually reading his book, and it's highly inappropriate. I actually do not recommend it for like families because it's a true story of things that he did. And of course, every '80s hair rocker did a lot of stuff they're not proud of.
Oh yeah.
And it's less of an autobiography and more of a warning to people who want to follow that lifestyle. So it was very interesting. I loved his music, so I wanted to read his book.
Okay.
I'm in the last 20 pages of it right now.
Okay.
Admittedly, don't read. What about you? What are you reading?
Oh Lord, I'm one of those poor people that read the young adult fiction. I'm sorry, it's my guilty pleasure.
The young adult fiction.
Yeah. Like the Pretty Little Liars author, Sarah Shepard, I would read anything that she writes because I'm just addicted to her style of writing or something.
No, it's fine.
It's mystery, but with all the, the drama and all of that stuff with what comes with girls and all that.
being a preteen to adult girl. So there you go.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So we're going to take a look at the community billboards now.
And our community billboards are brought to you by Pepsi. The Alabama Gourd Festival will be held on October 17th and 18th. And don't forget to visit them at Cullman Civic Center. Admission will be $3 for kids 12 and under, will be free. And find out more information at alabamagourdsociety.org.
The ongoing cookbook fundraiser brought to you by the Women of Faith group Garden City Church of God. These are $12.50 each, and these proceeds do benefit the church's food bank. For more information on these cookbooks, definitely call Miss Rhonda Davis or Miss Patsy Kennedy on the numbers on the screen.
And don't forget to go visit Miss Catherine Morgan at State Farm for some incredible savings and discounts up to 40%. Give her a call at 256-734-4640.
And the Camel Delight walking tours are October 5th, 2015 and October 6th of 2015. These are guided tours through the downtown Cullman. They begin at the Cullman County Museum and the Fest Hall Marketplace. For more information, definitely look at CullmanOctoberfest.com.
And if you have a community billboard, don't forget to let us know. You can visit us online at mycullmantv.com, send us an email at mycullmantv@gmail.com, or give us a call at 256-734-7399. And don't forget to like us on Facebook at My Cullman Television. And again, we are sponsored by Pepsi. And wishing you a happy birthday today, Martha Stansel. And don't forget that weekly winner will receive an ice cream cake from Dairy Queen. And don't forget to submit your anniversaries. We will have a winner on Friday for that, and they will receive a $15 gift certificate from the Candle Garden.
And if you didn't already know, today's sponsor of the day was indeed Be Fit. They are located downtown Cullman next to Renard's Gallery, and they have a $50 special. They are month to month, no contract, and the membership does include a free personal trainer. They are very hands-on, so definitely go check those guys out. And again, if you haven't already done so, like us on Facebook, because we are very feedback driven. We love to hear from you, and we always want to know what's going on in the community, and maybe we've missed something. So definitely let us know. Any kind of feedback, anything, recommendations, that kind of stuff. We love to hear from you guys because we love the community. Alrighty, so we've had a good day. Had a lot of cool conversation.
Yes, we have. And we'll have an even better one with Stephanie Wood from United Way.
United Way.
We'll have her on the show tomorrow, and she is their marketing coordinator, and great organization. So we are so excited to hear about everything that they have going on. And we'll catch up with her tomorrow.
I love United Way for the fact that, I remember even when I was a kid, really little, they always had something that we could do.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember the United Way programs they used to do around Halloween?
Yes.
Yes, huge fan of those because it gave me and my parents an excuse to actually take me out and not take me out. I'd use the double negative there, don't quote me on that. But the point here is that I love their involvement with community of all ages.
Yeah.
They are very good at bringing communities together to help people, and I absolutely am supportive of that. So I'm very excited to talk to her tomorrow. And I encourage anyone that does not familiarize themselves with the program to tune in tomorrow and definitely check out and see what you can learn about it, because you might be interested as well. Alrighty. Well, again, I'm Jacob Murphy.
I'm Natalie Bonner.
And again, everyone here at My Cullman Television hopes you have a wonderful Wednesday, and we'll see you tomorrow.